Item Number: SCP-Y-015. Object Class: Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-Y-015 is to be contained within a large, heavily reinforced aquatic life containment chamber, measuring at least 80 meters in length, 60 meters in width, and 50 meters in height. The chamber walls must be constructed of non-permeable materials, such as steel and reinforced concrete, and the chamber must be sealed with airtight measures to prevent SCP-Y-015 from traversing through solid objects. The containment chamber is equipped with multiple Scranton Reality Anchors, SRAs, placed at evenly spaced intervals. These SRAs are essential in preventing SCP-Y-015 from utilizing its anomalous ability to phase through matter. The SRAs create a stabilized reality field that negates SCP-Y-015's phasing capabilities. Due to an unknown interaction between SCP-Y-015 and the SRAs, a large area around SCP-Y-015 spontaneously produces ocean water at an alarming rate when within range of an SRA. To manage this, the water level in SCP-Y-015's containment chamber must be regularly monitored and reduced using high-capacity drainage systems to prevent overflow or structural damage to the containment chamber. Regular inspections of the containment chamber are to be conducted to ensure the structural integrity of the chamber and the operational status of the SRAs. Any presence of the slimy substance left by SCP-Y-015 must be promptly cleaned and disposed of according to biohazard protocols. This slimy substance has been identified as marine mucilage, commonly referred to as sea snot. Access to SCP-Y-015's containment area is restricted to personnel with Level 3 clearance or higher. All interactions with SCP-Y-015 must be authorized and supervised by at least 2 senior containment specialists. Description: SCP-Y-015 is a large, nightmarish entity resembling an anglerfish, measuring approximately 25 meters in length. It possesses a grotesque appearance, with multiple rows of razor-sharp teeth and bioluminescent features along its body. SCP-Y-015 exhibits anomalous abilities that allow it to traverse through air and solid objects with ease, unless countered by Scranton Reality Anchors, SRAs. The secondary anomalous feature of SCP-Y-015 is its esker, a fishing rod-like appendage located on its head. The esker is capable of generating illusory forms, often manifesting scenes depicting loved ones or individuals in imminent danger. These illusions serve as bait to lure unsuspecting prey toward SCP-Y-015's biting range. Furthermore, SCP-Y-015 can manipulate the illusions to create terrifying images or creatures, inducing fear in potential victims and compelling them to flee. The entity's ability to shift the location of the illusion makes it difficult for targets to discern whether they should approach or avoid the apparition. The entity leaves behind a slimy substance, resembling marine mucilage, commonly referred to as sea snot. On surfaces it has passed through, which serves as a potential indicator of its presence. Additional notes: SCP-Y-015 poses a significant challenge to containment due to its ability to manipulate perceptions and phase through solid matter. The integration of Scranton Reality Anchors has proven effective in restricting SCP-Y-015's phasing ability, though it has introduced the complication of spontaneous ocean water production. Research efforts are ongoing to better understand this interaction and to develop more efficient containment strategies. Personnel interacting with SCP-Y-015 are advised to exercise caution and remain vigilant at all times. Regular psychological evaluations are recommended for personnel exposed to SCP-Y-015's illusions to monitor for potential mental health impacts. Incident Report: SCP-Y-015-AL1, Discovery of SCP-Y-015. Date: June 1, 2000. Location: City, China. Local law enforcement in Shanghai stumbled upon a disturbing cult following an instance of SCP-Y3. This SCP-Y3 had established dominance over various influential figures within the city, including leaders of the Chinese triads, public officials, and heads of major conglomerates, effectively turning them into mindless servants of the cult. The cult was responsible for the creation of an immense underground ritual chamber where numerous citizens had been sacrificed in a series of ritualistic killings. These sacrifices appeared to be dedicated to some serpent or ocean deity, although the exact purpose remained unclear. Upon discovering the cult, local authorities were administered Class C amnestics to erase their memories of the events, and control of the situation was transferred to Director Knightley, who holds jurisdiction over matters involving SCP-Y1 and Provisional Reality-Y-1. MTF Zeta-0, Bad Bunch, was dispatched to investigate and neutralize the threat. Non-deformed humanoid members of MTF Zeta-0 conducted the preliminary investigation. They quickly noted the city's extreme and anomalous conditions. Strange ritualistic symbols were etched into buildings, perpetually producing marine mucilage. Spatial anomalies were creating random portals throughout the city, some of which led to fatal situations for unsuspecting civilians. Some portals transported civilians high up into the air, resulting in gravity-based fatalities, while some portals led partially into solid objects, like building walls and ground, leading to some civilians suffocating after being transported below the earth. Despite these anomalies, the citizens of the city seemed oblivious, going about their daily lives while ignoring the horrific scenes around them. Attempts to interview the civilians revealed that they only responded when physically impeded, speaking in a strange animalistic language consisting of guttural vocalizations rather than any human dialect. These findings indicated a deep and pervasive influence of the SCP-Y3 instance over the city's population. The investigation led MTF Zeta-0 into the sewer system, ultimately reaching the underground ritual chamber. Here they found a massive floating sphere of water suspended above a floor covered in intricate runes and symbols, leaking marine mucilage. Piled atop the runes were the bodies of partially transformed humans, altered in ways that made them share qualities with various marine life, such as octopus-like faces or arms replaced with large fins, slowly melting into the same mucus-like substance that was being produced by the strange symbols. The mucus that was produced by the pile of bodies was slowly being absorbed into the large sphere of water in the center of the room. MTF Zeta-0 members who specialized in close-quarters combat proceeded into the chamber, neutralizing cultists who had been transformed with octopus-like tentacled mouths. Upon reaching a back room, they encountered the SCP-Y3 instance responsible for the chaos. Wilbur Davis, designated upstream for his ability to breathe underwater and use echolocation, was tasked with activating a Scranton Reality Anchor, SRA, to neutralize SCP-Y3's reality warping capabilities. As soon as Davis activated the SRA, the entire chamber and sewer system were instantly flooded with ocean water. The SCP-Y3 instance managed to escape amidst the chaos, forcing the MTF Zeta-0 team to retreat to the surface. Wilbur Davis was sent back down to assess the situation in the flooded ritual chamber. He reported that the water sphere had disappeared, leaving only the remains of the disfigured, marine-like humans floating in the water. Above ground, other Zeta-0 members observed an enormous anglerfish-like entity, later designated SCP-Y-015, swimming through the air, causing widespread destruction throughout. SCP-Y-015's appearance caused considerable damage and resulted in extensive civilian casualties. The civilians had been relieved of their anomalous control, now screaming and shouting due to the horror that their city had become. The entity moved through the air, using its bioluminescent esker to create illusions that lured and terrified people, exacerbating the chaos. MTF Zeta-0 members were spread thin, attempting to manage the situation and minimize further loss of life. Recognizing the dire situation, Wilbur Davis made a critical decision to act as bait for SCP-Y-015. He positioned himself directly in the entity's path and activated the Scranton Reality Anchor, SRA. The activation caused a significant area around SCP-Y-015 to produce copious amounts of ocean water, further flooding the already inundated city. During the confrontation, SCP-Y-015 collided with Wilbur Davis. Upon making physical contact with the entity, while the SRA was active, Davis vanished without a trace. His sudden disappearance was witnessed by the remaining Zeta-0 team members who were left to manage the escalating crisis. With Davis gone, the rest of the Zeta-0 team focused on containing SCP-Y-015 without making direct contact. Utilizing a mix of their anomalous abilities, they managed to guide the entity into a temporary containment chamber. The excessive production of ocean water complicated the containment process, causing further logistical challenges. After securing SCP-Y-015 in the temporary containment chamber, one of the Zeta-0 members noticed an unusual radio signal when in close proximity to the chamber. The signal was identified as a distress call from Wilbur Davis. The team established communication with Davis, who reported that he had been transported to a random location within a vast, dark ocean. Davis described his surroundings as an endless expanse of water, devoid of light. He noted that the initial air in his lungs had expelled and was floating in front of him, slowly dissolving into the ocean water. This observation supported his theory that he had been transported to an alternate reality entirely comprised of seawater. He further stated, "This doesn't feel like normal water," indicating a potential anomalous nature to the environment. Due to the anomalous nature of upstream, his suit had been outfitted with a specialized communication apparatus, allowing for verbal communication when submerged in water, as well as top-of-the-line waterproofed equipment for deep-sea exploration. Researcher Barnaby Oswald was on site as the designated specialist in anomalous containment measures. After Dr. Oswald confirmed that there was no malicious or negative anomalous effects coming from the radio or containment area around SCP-Y-015, he began to direct Wilbur Davis in an effort to return him to baseline reality. The following is a recording that details their interaction. Begin log.
This is Davis. I'm still here, Oz. Swimming through this endless ocean. It's been hours. Feels like days. But I finally found something. Feels like the ocean floor? Yeah.
Good to hear your voice, Davis. Stay within visual range of the ocean floor. Use it as a base point to track your movements. Can you describe your surroundings?
Yeah, I know the routine. It's dark. I can make out some shapes. The floor is covered in, well, it's like sand, but darker. It's a sort of carapace. I think that sounds like a technical term. It's probably a carapace, Oz. Or it's just a rock. I don't know. It's really dark here. I think I might have explained that part already. Wait. Whoa. I think I see something moving.
What do you see?
It's freaking huge, Oz. Looks like a slug with like colorful frills. It's almost pretty. Must be as big as an apartment building. What the hell? What kind of place is this?
That's likely a nudibranch or similar form of sea slug. Just keep your distance. Some can be poisonous, but they generally don't pose a threat unless you touch them. I assume you can outswim a slug, Davis?
I don't think you really had to tell me to stay away from the apartment-sized snot creature. All right. Swimming along the ocean floor again.
Several hours pass, with occasional descriptions of the environment from Davis, typically repeating that it's dark, or sarcastically stating that it's wet.
Doc, I see something in the distance. It's forming up out of the seafloor, or partially broken into it, I don't know.
Be cautious in your approach, Davis. We don't want to draw any unwanted attention.
Understood. Getting closer, though. Almost happy to see something. Looks like a ship. Yeah, it's a massive wooden ship. like something out of the 7th century. Looks like a Viking ship almost, but it's huge, Oz. What the hell? Like, massive. It's in bad shape, though. It's probably been down here for a while.
Find an entrance and describe what you see inside the ship. Be ready to retreat if there are any marine life using the ship as a nest.
Yeah, it's a hole in the side. I'll take a peek in through there. I see... Whoa. Wow, okay. There's giant... It looks like human skeletons almost, but they got 3 eye sockets. Certainly not visually impaired. Wearing old furred clothing. What do you think, Oz? I think I was right about that Viking era? Is this some 7th century stuff? Doesn't make sense, though. These are land-dwelling creatures, Oz. It's ships. Does this mean there's land somewhere? Do I actually have hope? Or is this just like one of those moments where yet another member of Zeta Zero gets eaten by something?
When you get back, perhaps we'll have a talk with Knightley about the mortality rate as it pertains to carnivorous anomalies. For the time being, though, we should stay focused on your current circumstances. It's possible the water here is anomalous, preventing air from escaping upward. There could be a surface, or the environment itself could be entirely different. We can't rule anything out.
Yeah, there's something else, too. There's one of these big ol' triple-I guys sitting at a table in the back. I'm gonna take a peek. Looks like he's holding on to something large and metallic. Getting closer. It's, Oz, there's a submarine here. Looks human-sized, too, like it's from our reality. It says, what does that say? USS Argonaut, SS-166. Oz, you got any idea what this is about?
That's a U.S. submarine from World War II, confirmed destroyed in action. It would have to be from an alternate reality or timeline than ours, as the Argonaut is verifiably destroyed. This is highly unusual. Keep exploring, Davis. We need to understand more about this place.
Wait, my echolocation is picking up something. Heartbeat? Or a pulse? It's coming from the ocean floor, Oz. Oh god, it's moving. Oh shit, the floor is moving, Oz.
Stay calm, Davis. Describe what you're seeing. If you have to, use the ship as a barricade.
And I'm taking a peek outside. There's 2 colossal eyes just opened up, glowing in the dark. They're the eyes of a serpent, bigger than anything I've ever seen. They're looking directly at me. I can't move. I can't think. I can hear its voice. It says it's awake now. A new world calls. In time, all will be consumed by the deep.
My head. Davis, look away from the eyes. Do you copy? Davis?
Doctor, finally, I'm on. I see you. Your guardians will fade into stardust. However, I never end. I am going now. All shall be consumed by the endless evil.
Davis, do you copy? Davis?
Wilbur Davis encountered a series of anomalous and disturbing phenomena while exploring the ocean floor of an alternate reality. His final communication described a colossal serpent, which subsequently took control of his voice to deliver a threatening message. The radio signal then cut off, and further attempts to contact Davis were unsuccessful. The fate of Wilbur Davis remains unknown, and the nature of the serpent and its connection to SCP-Y-015 requires further investigation, although currently our primary theory is that SCP-Y-015 is serving as a surrogate portal to the deep, as referred to by the serpent during the audio log. This could be due to the fact that the ritual attempted in City was interrupted before it could finish, resulting in a flawed end product. Measures to further understand this particularly turbid SCP and the matters connected to it are underway, being conducted cautiously to avoid repeated incidents. This incident highlights the ever-present need to move carefully and swiftly when dealing with new anomalies, as well as raising the apparent concern of consumption-based mortality for Zeta-0 members. This will be considered for future operations, and improved hazard pay compensation has been submitted for review to the O5 Council. This is Director Knightley, signing off on an especially problematic report at Site Y1. It's important to stay up to date on all SCPs contained here, so Wilbur Davis can serve as a cautionary tale instead of a repeating occurrence. I eagerly look forward to having your audience in future reports.